What's up? What's up,
Go ahead,
everyone?
George.
Welcome to another edition of Diamond Talk. I'm George Otter. This is my host, Jeremy. Joined by us today, Jon Jansen from Fox the Gambler Radio. How you doing, man? Well, thanks for coming on.
Doing good. I can already tell Jeremy's a little nervous. He's nervous for this next 30 minutes. Jeremy is just going to be absolutely horrified of the things I might say about him.
Yeah,
so
I am so
I can already tell the nerves are there. I can already see you trembling, buddy.
Yeah. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
No, not to him. Hi, George. My name's John. I work over at The Gambler. I have a show Monday through Friday, 8 to 11. Jeremy, I don't want to know anything about you. I actually think I know too much about you already.
You do. You very much do. Yes, for anyone that is actually listening, I sadly have to report that Jon Jansen is my uncle. God help me.
Per my sources. It's not confirmed yet, but per my sources, my parents, I think we might actually be related. So
yeah, it happens. It happens, man.
It happens? Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah, but we have a lot to go over today. Phillies are hot right now. So we're going to go over that entire Washington series and going back to the Pittsburgh series. They got a little bit of 4-game win streak. Phillies don't do that very often. So we're going to dive right into that, and also the trade deadline news. I want to hear John's thoughts on that because he doesn't have the best thoughts sometimes.
Thank
you.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna get all into that and some other news that are going on in baseball. But starting off with the trade deadline, Phillies made some moves. Phillies got rid of one of their top prospects. I've been in the league for a little bit, Spencer Howard, and got back a decent chunk of guys. We got Ian Kennedy, and the big one was Kyle Gibson, and another prospect, Hans Kraus, also. What are your thoughts on that trade in general? Do you think that we didn't give up? Do you think we gave up too much, giving up Howard, not getting too much in return? Or do you think it was pretty fair?
You know, that question, that's a good question, because I don't know if it was a good idea to trade Spencer Howard and if that was the right time to trade him. And I truly understand all of that. But what I was really impressed with was the Phillies had legitimately nothing to work with. They don't want to spend money, and they don't have the prospects to give away. So when everybody's talking like Craig Kimbrell and Chris Bryant, there's no way they're going to get those guys, because who ended up getting them? The White Sox. The Dodgers got Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. Like, all of these guys, San Francisco ended up getting Chris Bryant. Every single one of those organizations were going to spend more than the Phillies would, because A, had the prospects, and B, they're all playoff teams that are likely going to be contenders for the World Series. So they were never going to be able to afford a Chris Bryant or Craig Kimbrell or a Trey Turner or Max Scherzer or anything like that. So for what they had to work with, yeah, you may have given up a little bit too much in Spencer Howard. I get that. But they got a solid return for an organization that for the past decade hasn't been able to have anybody in their farm system worth a damn. And it's impressive what they were able to do, because Kyle Gibson having a career year, Ian Kennedy, he's not doing well right now, but he's good. And he's been a good relief pitcher for the Texas Rangers. So I think at the end of the day, ended up being a solid trade. It was a good haul for, again, a team that I didn't think could get very much.
Yeah. And I know that a lot of other reports were saying, like, maybe we could have got someone better. Like when we talked to Jack Fritz earlier this week, and he was saying maybe if we gave up Spencer Howard and a few more decent prospects, we could have got someone a little bit higher caliber like John Means, or if we give up a top prospect like Bryson Stott or someone along those type of lines, we could have got even Jose Barrios. I'm not really sure on that. Do you think that's something that you would have been interested in, like maybe giving up Spencer Howard and a couple other, like maybe not someone as high as Bryson Stott, but maybe someone like Adonis Medina or Cornelius Randolph out in the outfield in AAA right now.
Right.
Do you think that would have been a pretty good idea, grabbing John Means, or would you have stuck where we were at now and keep the rest of the prospects?
I mean, yeah, if they could have made that work, sure. Like, John Means was the better pitcher. Like, I'm not saying Kyle Gibson's anything great, and even his first start was against the Pirates, so it's not like I can get really a good barometer of how he's going to be after that one. But the Phillies, I was very weary about how much they were going to trade from their farm system, or if they were going to sell and try and bring in all this talent to their farm system. I just don't want to mess with their farm system too much, because that is the one thing we know about the Phillies, is that their farm system stinks. It is the reason why we're sitting here right now talking about if the Phillies can win that division, when with Bryce Harper and JT Realmuto and the way Gene Segura's playing and all the free agents that they've signed, they should be by far winning this division, but they haven't been able to develop talent in years. So I don't know what I really wanted them to do with the farm system, because I think at the end of the day, it all comes down to, can Dave Dombrowski fix their development? system. If they can start developing players, and yeah, I'd be a little bit more inclined to trade away a Didi Gregorius, bring in talent, and then you can develop them. And I know, okay, the success rate for that is pretty high. But I don't know if it was worth going all out and trading away some of your best prospects, even though it's already thin, in hopes of just going all in for 1 year. I sat in the middle. I thought the Phillies should have stayed put. And I honestly think what they gave up wasn't too much. And I thought they, at the end of the day, were able to get a few players, but did sort of stay put and didn't go all in trying to buy and all in trying to sell. And I think they kind of did the right thing with that.
So if you're the Phillies, right, you're the GM, you're Dombrowski. Are you staying put? You know that you have a Spencer Howard trade on the table. You can get Kyle Gibson, you can get Ian Ken, you can get Hans Krause in it. Are you staying put, or are you giving up Spencer Howard for those guys in thinking that you can push the needle and win this division?
No, I think it was fine because yes, it does help out. Like, they didn't need much to get back into this division, as we saw. Everything with them, it comes back to just lineup. Can they be a top 5 hitting team in all of baseball? Because when that happened last season, they were, we all thought that they were going to win the NL East, and they looked like one of the better teams in baseball because of it. And the lineup wasn't like that for most of the season. And now look, the month of July, they've been, probably the best lineup in baseball since July. So if that's the case, then yeah, it was kind of worth going in just to get a 4th starter like Kyle Gibson. It was worth to get another guy in the back of your bullpen like Ian Kennedy. Yeah, I think it was worth it. And at the end of the day, would it have been better if Spencer Howard could have been traded in the offseason, or, you could have waited till his stock went up again? Sure. But I just don't think it was ever going to work with the Phillies. They moved him around way too much. Like we just said about the development system, they can't develop talent. And I think that they completely ruined Spencer Howard. Say what you want about his talent. Everybody got kind of mad when he said, "Oh, the Phillies were moving me around," and he didn't like it. But it's true. I don't get the Phillies the benefit of the doubt in these situations because it's been over a decade now. Dom Brown, Spencer Howard, Aaron Nola's been good. That's maybe the only one. Rhys Hoskins has come up with a lot of issues. He cannot field a ball. Alec Boehm cannot field a baseball and was only an inside-out hitter in the early parts of his career. Now he's starting to get a little bit better with that and starting to pull a ball a little bit more now. But, all of these guys have come up with problems, and it didn't surprise me that Spencer Howard came up with problems and couldn't go past the 3rd inning because it's just every single prospect for the Phillies has been that way. And it didn't surprise me. And I felt it was best for him to just move on. For sure.
The one that upset me the most was Scott Kingery, when everyone had him as like the highest prospect. And I remember I used to be listening to the radio.
Man, that's a shame. Wow. I love it. I'm glad you're wearing it with a lot of pride because that guy should have been really good.
You can't see the back. That's the only reason I'm wearing it.
Yeah, I just know. I remember listening to the radio, and there was even like a poll. It might have been WIP, it might have been the Fanatic. I forget which one it was. But they were going on, and they were saying, would you rather get like a star player's jersey right now or get Scott Kingery right now? And he was still in the minors because they were like, this guy's a guaranteed star. Like, nothing can go wrong with him. And then look at him now.
Yeah, and a lot with him, and this is probably part of the development system. This is partly their fault, but I know Scott Kingery got a new hitting coach, and just because I know I do a show on Sundays, and I do it with a hitting coach that works with a lot of major league players, so he knows kind of the landscape of hitting coaches, and Scott Kingery got the same hitting coach as Aaron Judge. So he learned this power swing, and so Scott Kingery was basically going from a contact hitter to an all-out power hitter. You shouldn't be doing that when you're about 5'7". When you're about 2 inches shorter than me, I guarantee you're probably not going to be a power hitter. So he completely changed his swing and became a player than he should have been. But the Phillies should have stepped in right away and said, "Hey, no. Everything is telling us like the way we want you to develop is we think you're a contact hitter with a little bit of power, sure, but we want you to be contact, you're fast on the bases. That's what we want you to be." But they never stepped in. They let him do this, and they let his hitting coach change his swing. And now the Phillies, because I know they brought him back down and they've been trying to work with him. Now they finally said to him that like, hey, this isn't working. We need to change the way you approach at the plate. And now it's too late because he's already a broken player, and it's going to be a miracle to get Scott Kingery fixed again. So yeah, all of those problems, Scott Kingery is one of them. All of those problems we had with prospects continue to persist. When does it change? And Dombrowski hopefully has the time to do it, and within a couple of years that can happen, but it's going to take a little while. And I imagine at that point, like, I don't know what the situation with Harper, Realmuto, and all those guys are going to be. Look, it's not like they're young. These guys they're in the prime of their careers right now. 2 years from now, Bryce Harper might not be the same player. Like JT Realmuto might not be the same player, especially a catcher in the next 2 years. So it's really tough of a spot for them right now. And it sucks because Harper is showing up like an MVP at the moment. So it's really a shame to be wasting the few years so far that you've had of him.
With everything, like how they've been messing up prospects and everything, this will kind of roll right into it. Ranger Suarez has been totally dominant in the bullpen this year. At one point, he was 40 innings in, had a 1.12 ERA. He was getting saves. Got that 7-out save against the Red Sox, which is completely incredible to see. And just a couple days ago, they had Ranger Suarez be an opener for 3 innings. Do you think that's going to mess him up? Do you think that was a good move on the Phillies' part, or what are your thoughts?
I hated it. I truly hated it. It's the one guy in your pitching staff, other than maybe Zach Wheeler, that's been consistent. Like, that you could put Ranger Suarez in late in the game and he's going to get you outs. He had an ERA of like 1.12 before his start that he had. It was perfect. Why mess with something on your team that's actually working? Why mess with something in your pitching staff that actually has been consistent and good? I think moving him to opener, look, with the way the Rays have been using it, they're not using their best pitchers for openers. Like, Ranger Suarez is their best bullpen pitcher. No matter what anybody wants to say, he was their best. He should have been their closer. The Rays aren't using those guys in an opener role. They're using some of their middle relievers, guys that they can just throw away for an inning or two, because I will be honest with you, probably the first 2 innings are maybe the easiest. The hardest ones you get are, the 7th inning, 8th inning, when you do have kind of those key moments in games, and high leverage situations. That's where you want a guy like Ranger Suarez pitching. So to put him in the first inning when it's really relaxed and it's 0-0, you could get out to a 5-0 lead. Why do you need Ranger Suarez in there then? Why put him in there? Because the first inning is in a high leverage situation. It's the start of the damn game. And you could be up 3-0 with that lineup in no time. Use him in the bullpen where you can actually use him in the spots that you really need him. I hated it. I thought it was an awful move.
Yeah, even though he was completely dominant, I still didn't like it. How about you, George?
Yeah, like 3 innings, no hits. I mean, he was dominant, but you have one guy, you have one bright spot in your bullpen that has been consistent throughout the entire season, and it's Ranger Suarez, and you take him out of the bullpen. It's just, I know you got Ian Kennedy, but guess what? Ian Kennedy isn't going to take that workload of Ranger Suarez. Like, Ian Kennedy's a great pitcher. Ranger Suarez has been nothing but dominant this year. So putting him as a starter is weird. If Bailey Falter was still around right now, like, things would definitely be different, but he's not.
I think he would be the opener. He is the perfect opener.
Exactly, it's what he is. So it's kind of like, I'm not gonna say a panic move by the Phils, but they wanted to put him in. They wanted to take out one of Vinny or Matt Moore, Chase Anderson, and
right. Well, it's also one thing of Joe Girardi that, like, I don't think he knows how to do this. He's a very old school manager. If he had it his way, he would have 5 conventional starters, and he would have a few guys in the bullpen that he could rely on, and that's it. But it's not that way anymore. This isn't 2009. He's not dealing with, one of the best lineups in baseball, and he's not dealing with great starting pitching. He has to kind of work his way around this. And so he's trying to do things in the way that the Tampa Bay Rays would, in such an unconventional way that no team in baseball 10 years ago would have ever thought of. Well, the Rays are doing it, but they know how to, and they know exactly how they want to approach it. I think Joe Girardi's looking at that like, okay, I have to think of unconventional ways to actually make my roster work, but he doesn't know how to do it because he's not that kind of guy. And I think we're seeing that. It's happened multiple times this season, whether it's the lineup or whether it's, starting somebody like Ranger Suarez as an opener. That's just not the right way to use it. And I think he just doesn't know how to approach the game in kind of unconventional ways. And that's going to hurt them, I think.
So do you think Joe Girardi is still to be fit? I know we've all seen issues with Joe Girardi since we've signed him. But do you think he's someone that we should stick with for a long time? Like, do you think that he's done enough where it's like, okay, maybe this is where after this season, if he doesn't make playoffs, we cut him loose? Or do you think that we should keep on giving him more chances? I don't know if I want to use the word chances.
Right.
But he's been making some decisions that have been questionable. And I was more of a Gabe Kapler guy, but I am still a Joe Girardi guy. I don't hate on the dude, but I definitely want to hear both your guys' thoughts on Joe Girardi.
And to be fair and to be like reasonable about this, like all the same problems that Joe Girardi's having that Gabe Kapler was, all of the same issues that persist. They haven't had a good bullpen. They've used multiple pitchers. I mean, I remember I had a tweet when Gabe Kapler got fired, and all the list of names that he's used as a starting pitcher or relief pitcher in his time with the Phillies. And I could use about half of those names in the Joe Girardi tweet if he were to get fired. Like it's this, everything has been the exact same. Yeah. So I don't know where they expected it to be different. Nothing has been different. And, if the Phillies actually, their lineup decided to take maybe some of the things that Gabe Kapler wanted to do with the lineup, just like he's doing over in San Francisco, and these guys actually took to some of the analytics and, changing your launch angle, doing small things like that, I think the Phillies would be in a great spot. But the problem is, Kapler and the organization were sort of seeing eye to eye, but it was about Klentak and Kapler probably seeing eye to eye, and the rest of the organization had no idea how to teach that way, because those guys were coming up as prospects and not knowing exactly what Gabe Kapler wanted out of them. So basically teaching them at the major league level. Like that wasn't going to work. The Giants are a well-oiled machine from top to bottom. And so Gabe Kapler is going to work there. And I think that's what Joe Girardi is having to work with, is the fact that this isn't a well-oiled machine. This is, in fact, an organization that is failing almost at every single level. And yeah, I could partly put that on Joe Girardi. I hate some of his decisions. To pitch Ian Kennedy for one bleeping out last night when you already have pitched him way too much in a Phillies uniform, Get out of here with that. Put in like Vince Velasquez. I don't even know if he's on the roster anymore. Put him in, though. Put in somebody when you're in a 4-run lead and 1 out against one of the worst teams in baseball that sold every single good player except for Juan Soto. Bull crap. That is a terrible, terrible idea. And Ian Kennedy just wasted a few pitches on a game that he didn't need to. So yeah, Girardi to me has some blame in this. To say that he should be fired and then a new manager comes in and changes everything, I don't know. The change to me, again, comes from more of the top of the organization and Dombrowski than it does Girardi. And maybe, if they change things around or think that they finally have the development system ready and the farm system's going well and they want to change some things and just have a new face in there, sure. But I don't know if Joe Girardi, firing him and getting a new manager, to me, doesn't really change much.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page as you. You get Joe Girardi in here. It's a very happy time to be a Phillies fan. It's everyone's celebrating the decision. It's a great move, but he's made questionable decisions throughout the entire season. Some that probably cost us games, some that are just boneheaded and don't need to happen. And firing Joe Girardi, I don't know if that's going to help, because, a manager position, it's not as big as it's played out to be. It's not like it can make or break a team in ways that playoffs, World Series, any type of series in the playoffs. I don't think that's how it works. So firing him, bringing in someone else, I don't think it's going to make any difference. But never know. If we win this division, there's no way he's going anywhere. So
right, and there does get to a point though where okay, we've been throwing this thing at the wall for 3 years now. Maybe it is time to change, and so that time could be coming for sure. But I'm not expecting it to happen after this season unless they completely fall apart. But I don't know what that's going to change. But yes, eventually, if things stay the same, you're going to have to change no matter what. That's why Gabe Kapler had to go. That's why Pete McCann had to go. That's why all of them had to go, because nothing changed. But at the end of the day, the Phillies just do have to get it fixed no matter who is the manager. It's the top of the organization that needs to fix all this.
One thing that I have noticed that Joe Girardi has done pretty well is setting this lineup up. Having Gene Segura change to the leadoff hitter has been one of the best things that they have done. The amount of first pitch home runs that Gene Segura has had now, I can't even keep count anymore. You turn on the game, first pitch, you're just expecting nothing's gonna happen yet. First pitch, Gene Segura just crushes the ball in the left field. You're like, okay, we're starting already. This is happening. And just the lineup is just so stacked. Legit 1 through 8, you could have such good guys in the lineup. Even our depth pieces are pretty decent. Travis Janikowski, for some reason, is just playing well.
He's been great.
I could not tell you why. I would have never guessed that Janikowski would have even made the main roster this year. But again, he's been a great depth piece for us. And someone that's really been lighting it up, Bryce Harper. Playing at an MVP candidate now, batting over 300, OPS over 400, slugging over 500. It is absolutely insane. OPS at a 967 right now. He's third in the NL. The only two above him are guys on the IL, which is Fernando Tatis and Ronald Acuna. This guy's playing out of his mind, and in my eyes, MVP candidate. I don't know if he'd be first right now. I'd do some more research about that, but the way he's playing, he's doing it all. And when he hit that home run against Washington and blew the kiss, that was icing on top of it.
Fantastic. But yeah, no, he's been MVP caliber, and especially for the past month or so, he's been that way. So yeah, I would say it's worth looking at him for MVP, because I would imagine not everybody was thinking Bryce Harper would enter the MVP discussion, and for the most part, it was really either Jacob deGrom or Fernando Tatis, and one of them get injured, and then the other one's going to win it. Well, they both got injured. So just completely blew this thing wide open. Mm-hmm. And yeah, with the way Harper was being looked at, absolutely. I think you can enter him into the MVP discussion. Now, what's going to be really hard about that is there are also some really good pitchers that are in that discussion as well. And it might come down to like Freddie Freeman's, the month of July that Harper had. Freddie Freeman had an incredible month of July too. That was MVP caliber. So it might come down to, whatever team kind of carries their team into the divisional race. But yeah, I would think those two, because Trey Turner's in there, but of course, I don't know. Trey Turner, Max Muncy don't really do it to me. I think Freddie Freeman and Bryce Harper, of course, have the pop and are going to put up these gaudy numbers in just a span of a few weeks that could honestly propel them. But the better bet would honestly be Bryce Harper, because he's not as much of a favorite, and you don't have to put as much money on him. While Freddie Freeman's 8-1, so it's a lot shorter odds there. Right. So those two, to me, I would definitely those are the two I'm looking at, because they definitely have it in them to have those kind of gaudy numbers. And then when you look at the rest of the lineup, yeah, Gene Segura has been amazing. It reminds me a lot, now not to the certain degree of a Kyle Schwarber, but it's usually not conventional to me to put a guy like Gene Segura at the top one or two, because he is just flat out contact. He's not going to walk. He's not going to hit a lot of home runs. Flat out contact, but he's a good contact hitter, and he hits for average a lot throughout his career. But you put a guy that attacks the plate like that, and that is going to swing at the first few pitches, why not put him lead off? Why not put him as this, the second guy in the lineup? The same way that the Nationals put Kyle Schwarber in the month of June, put him in the leadoff spot, and everybody went, that is stupid. Why in the hell would you put Kyle Schwarber, a traditional, you would say 4, 5, 6 guy, home run hitter that doesn't hit for average at all, that is mostly Mendoza line? Why would you put him leadoff? Well, he attacked the first few pitches every single time, and the first couple of pitches in a game are maybe the best couple of pitches you're going to see all game, and he absolutely crushed them. So yeah, I think Segura is that kind of thing. Is he your traditional leadoff hitter? No, but damn, when he attacks early like that, it is awesome to see. It was great for them to do that. It was an awesome move by Girardi to place him there in the lineup.
Yeah, and even everyone else, like JT starting to heat up. Rhys Hoskins, that home run last night was completely destroyed at 400.
Don't get me started. I know you know my feelings on Rhys Hoskins. Don't make me do it, Jeremy.
What are your feelings of Rhys Hoskins?
Don't make me do it.
Do it.
Because he's playing well. He's doing okay right now. Like, he's doing fine.
Yeah, he's playing well right now.
Me and John have very similar thoughts on Rhys Hoskins.
I cannot stand the 0 for like 50s. I can't stand that. Like, and even at this point in his career now, like, I thought he was at least, for sure, we knew he was going to be an on-base guy. Like, home runs and walks. And fine, that's great. But he is gone so far down in his on-base percentage. I just look, and the good thing is he is swinging the bat more, and he's getting more extra base hits, and he's getting more home runs. So, like, I can't completely down him for this season, but at the end of the day, he's hurt this team, I think, a lot more than he has helped them. Yeah, there have been a few clutch at bats. Yeah, he's had a lot of extra base hits, but he's also gotten out a ton. He's not getting on base nearly as often as he used to, and his fielding is downright trash. It is horrendous. It is absolutely terrible. It's like watching my 3-year-old play MLB The Show. It's terrible. Like, I can't stand that. That's what loses games, and that's what's honestly, it's attributed to the Phillies losing a lot of games. For as many times as he has hit that game-winning home run or game-winning double, he's also had a game-losing error, and the Phillies have lost a lot of games because of defense, and Rhys Hoskins, to me, is the biggest culprit of it, and I just can't stand that.
What's your response to that, George?
No, definitely agree. I mean, he's absolutely horrendous defensively. You can't even argue that. I mean, like, yeah, and he's getting on base at, like, a 330 clip right now. Like, I don't need that in my first base, but I need more. So I agree with you. His OPS is all right. He's like 834 right now, but
it's gotten up. Like, when he was in the mid 700s, that's when I was really like, dude, he's got to go. You can't keep adding a guy that's going to be like this. But yes, he's gotten hot again. He's back up to 800, and if he can finish like that, then it's whatever. It's a wash for me. Like, fine, that's what Rhys Hoskins has always been, and I'll take that. But there was a point this season where I thought, oh boy, this is getting really bad. But no, you're right. He's gotten good. That's why I didn't want to say it now, because he's gotten better for sure.
All right, moving on to the NL East, I guess. Phillies, before the All-Star break, dude, we were at plus 500 to win the division. I wanted to hammer it. I really did, but I didn't have the confidence to do it. They're now sitting at plus 250, or a game and a half back, unless the Mets lost today, which they were losing the 8th. So good value on plus 250. What are the odds that we win this division actually?
Yeah, plus 250 is probably where you lost it. Plus 250, 3-1, all those. Like you probably lost it. The best value was right before they started to play well in July and hit well. When they were 5-1, when they were 8-1. That was the best value. You're getting no value whatsoever at all. And look, they're playing well now, and it's great. I always said if the Phillies could end up being a top 5 lineup in baseball for the second half of the season, that they could actually win the NL East, and I truly believe that. I just didn't think it was actually going to happen. It's happening right now. They've been the best lineup in baseball for an entire month and even more now, even into August. So, yeah, they've been that. I just don't know at plus 250 or 3-1. I'm going to bet that they can keep it up for the rest of the season. At plus 500, plus 800, yeah, it was worth it because there's a chance that they could do it. So I don't want to say now like, oh, they're great and their lineup's going to be fine the rest of the way, because if we get to the end of August and their lineup goes cold, this team is going to crumble all over again. I can't trust them, but yeah, there were a few times you could have bet them this season, plus 500, plus 800, all good value bets for sure.
We saw the trade deadline. We saw what the Mets did, the Braves did, the Phillies did. Where's your head at? Do you think like there's actually a chance this team can do it? Like, I know we're playing hot. We've seen us be hot. We've seen us be cold. We haven't seen a lot of win streaks this year. We're on a 4-game win streak today. Aaron Nole's on the mound. Is there a chance that we can actually run away with this division?
Ooh, yeah, it's tough. And it's because the Mets are actually, say what you want about them, and I know they're not playing well right now, but the Mets are good. The Mets are a solid baseball team. They're getting healthier too. They just got Carrasco back. Now, unfortunately, Jacob deGrom's not going to pitch until September, but for the most part, that is a functional, conventional baseball team. They have starters 1 through 5. They have a solid bullpen. They have a closer. They have a lineup where I think guys fit in their lineup spots, 1 through 9. Like it's a very pretty good put together team. It's just not working out at the moment. And Javi Baez, he's had a couple of nice moments. And the last time I checked, he was like 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts. So, I mean, that's a guy I can't trust at all. It was a good pickup though. But it's just with the Phillies, they're not a functional team. And so this at any point, if their lineup can't hit this way for the rest of the season, that's where you run into the problems. Like that's where the defensive problems come in. That's where the bullpen problems come in. That's where the starting pitching problems come in. Like it can all go away with them mashing the baseball out of the ballpark for an entire month. Yeah, those problems are going to go away when you're scoring 9-10 runs. But what happens when that doesn't happen? Can they win games when they're not necessarily hitting the ball out of the park like they are right now? And with what we've seen, the answer to that is no. And I don't think that Kyle Gibson and Ian Kennedy really fixed those issues. This is not a well-functioning baseball team. They don't have 1 through 5 worth of starters. They barely have 3 functional starters. And even when Zach Eflin does come back, Zach Eflin has been pretty awful lately before the injury. So I don't know. I can't say yes to that because they do too many dumb things and too many small things that add up. Like the defensive problems add up, and it's the only reason why they've been terrible the way they are. And it's not like those defensive problems have gone away. They've just been overshadowed by hitting. Can that continue for the rest of the season? My answer to that, for most part, has been no. But we'll see. And it still might be no to that.
It's the Philly way. It's the Philly way.
The Philly way. Yeah, the Philly way. Negadelphia. I am absolutely. I am the president of Negadelphia. Yeah.
That's about where I'm at too. With Eagles news. That's how I am too.
Don't even get me started.
Not.
I know you gotta get going soon though. I appreciate having you on the show, John. It's never a pleasure.
Don't be formal with me.
I said it.
Don't be formal.
I said
with
it's
me.
never a pleasure.
Oh, okay.
I said it's never a pleasure.
I didn't hear it. I'm too distracted by the chin strap that I couldn't really.
Yeah. You already made me put on a hat. I get it. All right. Yeah. I was gonna do one show.
Oh no! You gotta take off the hat one time for the people so they can see the. You look like an Amish kid.
Yeah, I know. I've heard. Hey, I'm from Oxford. You know that.
You are from Chester County, so you're pretty close. Absolutely. Yeah. I got lucky. I lived across the street from the Amish farm, but I didn't turn into one. You did.
Yeah. Good for you, man. Go back to the Gambler, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I will. Monday through Friday, 8 to 11, actually.
Yeah, plug it. There you go.
Plug it. Yeah, definitely plug it.
At JJansen34, as you can see. Follow me on Twitter. I have occasional tweets that I think are all right. The rest kind of suck. But no, my show, Monday through Friday, 8 to 11, a lot of betting, a lot of me hating on the Phillies and Eagles. It's fun. It's a good time.
All right, man. Thanks for coming. Hopefully we can have you on soon. We got some more to talk about.
I'm never coming on again.
Appreciate it. Nice meeting you.
See you guys.
Thanks, man. All right. Just because he's gone doesn't mean we don't got more to talk about. It'll be a better show now, I promise.
Funny guy.
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right. But yeah, you and me now. Washington series. It has been
Washington series.
Nuts, man. It's been nuts.
Yo, we took 3 in a row.
We're already. Game 4 is happening in about 5 minutes. We're gonna run into it a little bit, but it's fine. We'll catch the. We'll miss one inning where hopefully Gene Scarron can hit a first pitch home run. But we're on a 4-game.
Let me run something by you real quick. Spencer Howard made his debut today in Texas.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I heard him say it. What happened? I have no idea. Yeah, right. I do.
He pitched 2 hitless innings. He had 3 strikeouts. He struck out Ohtani.
Oh!
He goes into the 3rd inning, lets up a home run to Adam Eaton, lets up a single, lets up another single, throws a wild pitch, walks the guy, and then a sacrifice fly. So 2 1/3 innings, and he's out of there.
Oh my God.
There's Spencer Howard. That's water's wet. Same exact thing.
Wow. And look how Kyle Gibson did in his debut.
What's up?
I said, look how Kyle Gibson did in his debut.
I know. Yeah. That was of 3rd inning, he falls apart, man. It's tough.
Yeah. That is. I don't hate on Spencer Howard. I do hope that he can come back and have a good career. I would never hope someone has a bad career. I mean, the guy's doing his thing, but man, I would love to see that we win the trade.
Yeah, that definitely. Well, thinking about like next year, just like off topic, like that's gonna be a pretty nice starting rotation. You had one more guy in there. There's a lot of free agents.
Yeah, definitely.
Sticks along. You have Eflin. Hopefully, he gets better. Then you have Nolan Wheels. You had one more guy. It's a pretty solid rotation.
Well, Kyle Gibson, we actually have him for 1 extra year, so we already have him for next year, which is fantastic. And we'll see how he goes after that. He is getting a little bit up there in age, so we'll see what we really do with him. But yeah, I mean,
you gotta add one guy.
I did not know he was making his debut. That's nuts.
I know, isn't that crazy? I'm kind of sad. I'm gonna be watching the highlights later, and I'm sad. I don't want to see him in a Rangers uniform. But,
I wonder if he's even wearing number 48.
Yeah, I don't know. He definitely looks weird in it though.
I guarantee he's gonna get like 57 or something like that. Something weird. But yeah, Phillies on a 4-game win streak. Started off in Pittsburgh, winning 15-4. That was an absolute slugfest. Which no home runs, by the way. Did you realize that? We had no home runs in that 15 runs.
The Pirates had home run.
Yeah, right. And then, and then we got 3 more wins in a row against Washington. Game 4 is today. I know Pittsburgh again, not a good team. We lost series to them. I'm not gonna go my hopes too high. But man, this team is hitting. Against the Nationals, they're getting 9 runs and 7-run games, and it's just all out hitting. Hope we can keep up. But again, the Nationals are not a very good team anymore. Don't get your hopes too high. Yes, it can be a good moment that maybe can lead into some good series. You know what's really going to prove we're a good team this weekend. We're going up against the Mets this weekend. It's time. Now is the time that we can take this division over by the end of the weekend. That's when we need to do it against the Mets, against the leaders in the division. It's now. We got to win tonight. We got to get a 4-game sweep. That's the most hype you can get on a 5-game win streak, going in, facing the Mets, and just hopefully destroying Javi Baez.
You know I'm not a big Negadelphia guy, but there's no way we're winning today.
Why not?
We're gonna do a 4-game sweep against a division rival. Is that what we're gonna do?
We have Nola tonight, don't we?
Yeah, we have Nola tonight. I just can you imagine we sweep a 4-game series? The Phillies?
Dude, the time's now. And and usually I am the negative one.
I know.
We're flipping spots here. I don't see why the hell we can't, man. And we've been hitting crazy.
Yeah, so this has been a fun series, dude. We came back from last game with Matt Moore, man. Matt Moore
went 4 innings.
It's like there's no reason we should have won that game. And we went out there, we came back, the bats were hot, Reese was hot, and we just this team is making me happy, and it's awesome to watch. This is so fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it keeps up because the games have been just really fun to watch. I mean, being down and then coming back.
Mets keep losing.
Dude, this weekend. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I don't know if I want to say it, but I'm already too far into it.
Just say it.
The Phillies will be leading this division by the end of the weekend.
Whoo! I agree. Wholeheartedly agree.
I see a win. I see a
winning.
win tonight, and I see 2 wins against the Mets this weekend.
We're take 2 or 3. That's all you take 2 or 3, man. Please.
It won't be sweet. We might even lose game 1, but we're doing it.
We're in Philly. It's Gibson versus Stroman on Friday. It's supposed to be Suarez versus McGill on Saturday. And then Sundays you got Wheels versus Taijuan Walker. We could take 2. We can take
2.
Yep.
I can see us winning 3. I'm getting my hopes up. No. I'm getting my hopes up because there's no way we get 2 sweeps in a row against division rivals.
We win today. We're half a game back. We win today. We're half a game back. We go into the weekend, and it's wide open.
Oh my god!
Wide open.
I need to go to a game.
Yeah, I wanted to go this weekend, but I'll be away. I'm going to be in the Poconos, so I'll be streaming every game on my laptop.
Of course. Oh man, this is going to be great.
I know. If you're contemplating going to the Mets series this weekend, please go. We need a packed Citizens Bank Park.
Yes, we need to pack it. This is the time is right now. Sunday is also they're retiring Roy Halladay's number.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to see a great event, go Sunday. Sunday's the day to go, and you'll see Zach Wheeler pitch.
Yep, it's gonna be great.
The day to go Sunday, and that could be the time that we take the division lead, and that could be something we remember for the rest of the year. Like this game is what brought us in the lead, and we took off from there.
Dude, do you want to look into that Mets series because, dude, Mets are 3-7 their last 10. They have been on a really, really rough losing streak. They have no DeGrom until what, September? I think September. If there was a time to take advantage of this division, it's now. We're on a hot streak. The bats are on fire. There's no reason why we can't come to Philly and take 2 or 3 from the Mets.
Yeah,
we have to do it.
I also want to hear more of your thoughts because I asked both you guys, but he kind of took off on it. But Bryce Harper becoming an MVP candidate, I need to hear you all about it because I know we're both, everyone in Philadelphia should be Bryce Harper guys, but man, I know you and me just have a certain passion for Bryce Harper alone. Like how excited that we not even finally, because he has been playing extremely well since he's been here, like not overrated. Like he's been playing very well, but this is the best he's played so far.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, he's literally hitting the cover off the ball, and it's awesome to see. And it's weird in another way because the RBIs aren't there. The home runs could be higher, but he's destroying the baseball. He's hitting for average, which what's the one thing that all the Bryce Harper haters would like to say? 260, 240, like that. Now he's hitting, guess what? He's hitting 300, he's slashing 300, 400, 500 right now. He has an OPS of over 950. He's top 5 right now for MVP candidates odds-wise.
Yep.
Like this is a guy that is underrated by the MLB, that everyone that's not a Philadelphia Phillies fan. Watching him this year has been amazing because imagine if he didn't get hit in the face with a baseball.
Oh my gosh, dude.
He's probably top 3 for MVP right now, and he's leading and he's hurt. That's probably how it looks right now. So I love Bryce Harper. The one thing that this front office did completely right was getting Bryce Harper. Now, please make the playoffs because we need this Bryce Harper in the playoffs. This Bryce Harper right now, we need in the playoffs. We need the Bryce Harper right now.
Dude, and I know I sent this to you earlier, but I got to let it out on here too. Bryce Harper's numbers over his last 7 games, we got a 7-day span, a 15 and a 30-game span. Over his last 7, he has a 400 batting average with a 556 on base percentage and a 750 slugging. That means he has a 1,300 OPS. In the last 15, he's batting 409 with a 574 on base percentage and again a 750 slugging. So them numbers are only going higher. Last 30 games, this is a whole entire month of baseball. He is batting 365 with a 472 on base percentage and a 683 slugging.
Dude, like that's absolutely ridiculous. That's superstar right there. That's our superstar. Well, like that.
He's nuts.
My God. Those numbers are ridiculous. They're insane. And dude, you're leaving me going crazy.
I know, man. It feels.
Those numbers are absolutely insane. He's done nothing but be dominant all year. Like he was good this year. He was putting up solid numbers. He was only hitting solo homers, so it was weird. But this team wasn't that great. Now he's absolutely on fire. This team is on fire. Bryce Harper is jumping up into the MVP conversation, which he probably should have been dwindling the whole time. But guess what? Now he's a top 5 candidate, and he keeps it up. You never know. I agree with John too. What he said Trey Turner and Max Muncy don't do it for me. They don't do it for me. Freddie, it's Tatis, it's Freeman, it's Harper. Those are the 3 names that I'm looking at for MVP. I don't think Trey Turner's going to win MVP. I don't see Max Muncy winning MVP. I think if either guy can take over Tatis by just absolutely destroying the baseball for the last half of the season, it's Bryce Harper, Freddie Freeman. So there's a real chance. There's a real chance. We'll see.
The only other guy that I could have seen before was Jacob deGrom, but he's hurt for too long now. It's not going to happen now. It can't.
It's over. Especially for a pitcher, man. If you're missing time like that, it's over. Yeah. But congrats to him. A nice 5 innings, solid pitcher, and then he gets hurt. It's great.
But I don't know. For me, I kind of took this personal about some news that broke out a couple days ago. Not even kind of personal. It was 100% personal.
Oh, you know what it is.
Oh, yes, you do. Yeah, hold on. Let me get to it. Former Phillies ace, a legend in Philly, Cole Hamels decided to sign to a team, and he really wants a ring.
We're ring chasing, baby. We're ring chasing.
Cole Hamels signs to the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm sure everyone's heard already. Amazing team. Will probably win a chip. But the deal is what hurt me. So that it means that he totally chose the ring over the nostalgia, which can I blame him? No. Would I still have loved him to come back? Yes. 100%. Something that the Phillies could have used as a veteran starter to eat some innings. His deal is only $1 million guaranteed, and he gets $200K every start. I don't even know if the Dodgers are planning on using him as a starter.
He probably won't start a game for a month, maybe getting back into it, 3 weeks. So he's probably going to not start for a little bit. So you're paying $1 million, and he's going to come in early September, late August.
He's going to play a month of baseball and then postseason.
So they might end up paying him at the most 10 starts, maybe $3 million.
That's if they even start him. I mean, look at that rotation they have.
I know that's the thing. If he's in the bullpen for you don't even know if he's gonna you don't know. And I would have loved to have Cole Hamels here. And the one thing that he apparently was negotiating with teams with his money. He didn't think he got enough money. He didn't think he was getting enough. He ends up signing for $1 million and $200K each start for a team where their rotation is absolutely ridiculous. And you don't know that yet. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm happy for him because damn, the Dodgers are freaking good as hell. They're so good, and he's ring chasing, and that's fine. Go get it while you can. But damn, I would have loved Cole Hamels back in a Phillies uniform. I would have loved it.
Yeah, I think another reason why it would have worked is because we needed that veteran starter that knows what he's doing, can eat some innings towards the end of the year. And Cole Hamels wasn't the only free agent available that's that fits that role. Someone that was just released recently that I think the Phillies should make a move for. It won't be expensive. Is Matt Shoemaker. Again, this guy he might fit fifth in our rotation. In my eyes, he's a better option than Matt Moore or Chase Anderson or using Ranger Suarez as an opener. But, I mean, he's going to eat some innings for you. He can go 5 innings with allowing 3 runs. If he does that every time, that's not bad. I'm not upset about that. The thing is, Matt Moore and Chase Anderson will pitch 3 or 4 innings and allow 5 runs. That's a big difference. Someone like Matt Shoemaker, there's a couple other guys on there too. But Matt Shoemaker is the one that really sparks my interest. I've always kind of been a fan of him. I mean, I remember that one year when he was in Toronto, he was going completely off, then he got injured. I mean, I think we need someone like that to fill that kind of role. And Cole Hamels was the one that we looked like. Obviously, piqued our interest the most because of the nostalgia factor. But it didn't happen. I think the Phillies need to make some sort of move though, because again, we're not a playoff team with these guys starting.
Yeah, Cole Hamels would have been in my opinion, a lot better than Matt Shoemaker would be. I would rather take a chance on Cole Hamels, not really knowing what stuff he still has, because you saw him on the Cubs and he was a pretty good pitcher. He was like a 3.8 ERA guy. He gave you solid innings. He was a fine pitcher. So I would have much rather had Cole Hamels. Matt Shoemaker, he's been good in the past. He just this year was tough.
Definitely.
Yeah, and he had a lot of. I know he had a lot of stuff to say about the Twins, like pitching coaches, and like he wasn't happy there, and that's probably one of the reasons they released him. But another reason is because he just fucking sucked this year.
No, definitely.
Like honestly, like we could use maybe someone to take a chance on. I mean, you still could use a number 5 guy, and there's just to round out the season because you're not going to use him in the postseason as a starter.
No.
We have our 4 guys if Eflin's good.
Yeah.
So if you want to take a chance on him, I'll take a chance on him. I mean, as a number 5 to finish out the year, start a few games. That's fine.
You can literally just sign him to a contract. He'll probably sign again for like that Cole Hamels deal. Give him $1 million. He probably doesn't even need the $200K a start. If you give him $1 million, because he's gonna want to come back out and want to prove himself and be like, hey, look, I had a good last month or two.
Yep.
And maybe earn a contract in the end, and maybe he comes in and just balls out. I mean, I doubt it, but the guy's going to want to fight for it. You really never know, and I think we need to take a risk on someone else because other guys aren't cutting it. Even though Matt Moore went 4 strong yesterday, the guys aren't cutting it.
Dude, praise the Lord. We want a Matt Moore start finally. It's been so long.
The worst part is he didn't even start.
I know.
Yeah, Anderson was in for 3, right?
3.
Was it Anderson that started?
We want a Matt Moore team, is what I meant.
Yes, yeah, I know. But that was the thing. Like, I'm surprised we started Anderson and not Moore. But I don't know. They figured it out. They each pitched like half the game. I'll take it.
Moore, and I'm pretty sure Moore was supposed to start, right?
He might have been. I feel that. I feel like they usually start Moore over Anderson anyway. It doesn't really matter because they both just suck. Like,
remember we got
Oh man. But yeah, do you got anything else on the plate? I think that's everything that I had, but you always seem to surprise me with something.
I think that's all I got. Damn, big game right now going on. Did they start yet?
They should have started 10 minutes ago. They said the game was supposed to be starting at 4:05, and I know Noah was on the mound. So
1-2-3 inning for the Phils. So Washington is now up to bat. We got Soto up at 2 outs. Man, just win this game, please.
Win the game.
Watching, just win this game. If you're watching after the game we won, let's go, baby. We're half a game back in the division. But
let's do it.
Got the weekend. We got the Mets coming up, dude. We're in Philly. Go out to the game. Sunday is Roy Halladay Day. Come on, just go out to the game. Pack the seats. I would if I could. We got to get a playoff atmosphere in there. We got to take 2 or 3 from the Mets. Like let's do it. Let's make a playoff push. We're 4-game win streak. Let's make it 5 today. I'm riding high. I'm about to go watch the game. I'm hyped.
Yep, me too.
That's all I got. Bryce Harper for MVP. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Follow him. You see you see our Twitter handle at the bottom. You're only gonna find this kind of stuff on DSM Media, man. We're taking off. We're taking it to the moon. Let's keep it going. DSM Media all the way. This has been fantastic. Thank you everyone for joining us. And go Phils, baby.
Thanks, guys. Go Phils.